Hello, Mr. Hanrahan again, here with the second video about beginning juggling. Last week we worked on using bags for 2-bag juggling, and we're going to progress to 3 bags today, and then hopefully next week we'll get on to beginning with balls. At the end of the juggling video, I'm going to perform like a 7-minute workout, 7 or 8-minute workout, which you should actually probably double up, so rewind it and do it twice if you're up to it. If not, good. Thank you for stopping in and help working with us. And here we go with the juggling. As we talked about last week, you want to use these light garbage bags and make sure they're not all tight like this. Open them up a little bit so they float in the air a little bit better. And you want to work across and catch, we talked about last week. Across and catch with the opposite hand. Once you get one going, opposites, we did that last week. You get 2. Okay, this week we're going to go to 3, but we'll review with 2. You have to draw kind of an invisible box and reach for the opposite corner of the box. Throw, throw, catch, catch. Throw, throw, catch, catch. Hopefully some of you had a chance to work on 2 more than just once and really work on getting a rhythm. So it's throw, throw, catch, catch, throw, throw, catch, catch. And if you noticed, I took some of the air out that time so that it wouldn't float up in the air quite as long, and it forced me to go a little faster, like you might when the balls are coming down. Okay, but again, open them up in the beginning. When you work with 3, you have to hold them a little differently. You take one and you hold it with your pinky and your dominant hand, your good hand. For me, that's my right hand, and I know it's opposite because I'm facing you. My right hand with the pinky, and then the other one with the pointing finger. So I have 2 in my dominant hand, my good hand, and 1 on the opposite hand. And it's the same thing, but you're going to hold on to the pinky one at first. It's going to be throw, 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 and you got to keep throwing and catching. It's a lot more difficult with 3. In the beginning, you just want to see how many can I get. You don't want to throw them away from you. If you do it correctly, you'll throw and throw. And if you just let them land, it'll be kind of near your feet. You don't want to have to chase them, and that happens very often with the balls where you end up chasing them. So I curl with the pinky and index finger, both in the dominant hand, and for me that's my right hand. For you guys, that'd be this size if you're righty. Other hand here, and I'm not going to say the catch because you have to continually throw, 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 throw. So it's throw, throw, across. Everything has to be across. Sometimes they get caught like that. Everybody makes mistakes. So it's across, 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 across. And I can do it because I've opened the bags up. Okay. If you practice that for a while, you can pause here if you want and practice if you want, and really get the across going. If that's too hard for you, go back to 2, where it's across and catch, across, catch, catch, across, catch, catch, and then go back to 3. But you really have to go across because throwing and catching is really not juggling. It's really just throwing and catching. And you'll never be able to do more than a couple. Sock balls. This is what I like to use inside. My son does have actual juggling balls because he's a professional kind of juggler. He can juggle them in the air. He can juggle them off walls. He can juggle them off the floor. Someday I'll have him show you some of that, maybe next week. But for now, if you get a pair of socks, the kind of longer top socks, and you put one on top of the other like this. So I have them, one right on top of the other. And you start at the toes. I like to lean them against my stomach and just curl them all the way down until you have like a ball. And then you take the top of a sock and you wrap it around that, and that creates a ball for you. And the throwing and catching is the same thing. You've got to go across. So it's throw, catch, throw, catch, throw, catch. And you'll notice the ball moves much more quickly. I dropped that one, took my eye off it, and you really can't watch it when you're catching it so much. In the beginning, you're going to have to. And if I look at it the whole time, because I've juggled a lot, I can do that fairly easily. In the beginning, I had to learn to catch with the opposite hand and throw it across. If you do it right after you do it with the bags, it gets a little easier. Well, One ball isn't really going to teach you to get any further. You're going to need a second one. The same things, I'm purposely using a different color. And I lay it with the toes up. Start curling it like I did the other sock. And I make a sock ball. This is great for all kinds of things. In the next video, I'll probably do some kind of a shooting target game. And we'll use sock balls for that. They're great for inside because my mom yelled at me if I threw the balls around inside when I was a kid. But if I used socks, I wasn't breaking anything. I wasn't hurting anything. I just made sure I wasn't throwing it near anything glass or very breakable. Okay? So now with two balls, it's really the same thing. Throw, throw, catch, catch. Now, you're limited by your ceiling. If I had a higher ceiling, it would be a little easier for me, but it's throw, throw, catch, catch. Across, across, catch, catch. Across, across, catch, catch. Much harder, especially since I can touch the ceiling. I don't have much room. If I was a shorter person, I would have much more room to throw it. Throw, throw, catch, catch. Across, across, catch, catch. Across, across, catch, catch. And that will help you get, and you won't be ready your first time unless you've done juggling before, but to a third pair of socks. Again, the colors don't matter. I wind it up. I put the balled up sock inside the top of the regular sock. And I have my third sock ball. 3, much more difficult. And I just like to try to count and see how many I can catch. I'm definitely not like my son. I sometimes can get a few in a row. My son, with 3, can do probably hundreds. With 4, which it took him years to learn that, he can get many, 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 but not hundreds and hundreds yet. Again, it's the same thing, across, 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 across. And you'll notice I'm stepping forward a little bit. Not being an expert, I am kind of chasing it. But this is really what ends up being, and I learned it the same way as I'm teaching you, with the bags from the stores. In my office, I have scarves. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed in my office, as many of you know. If you stopped my video, we're out of the buildings. So this is 3-bag juggling for today, with our goal being the sock balls. Thank you for joining us for the juggling today, and I'm now going to do a quick 7 or 8 minute workout. These are the exercises. And I'll go over each separately, just so you can get a feel of what we're doing. Each exercise should last about a minute, and the first 2 are really kind of a warm-up. It's called the high knees. If you've had me for a pull-out class, you've seen the high knees before, where you get your hands above your waist, and you just are trying to bring your knees up to your hands for about a minute. I'm not going to do a whole minute because you can do this. This kind of a warm-up. And I have warmed up. I did my workout earlier. I had a little bit of a walk in the outside. Sometimes I take my dog with me, but I don't count that as my exercise because he wants to stop and smell the flowers and do his business, and it's just not the same as an exercise walk. But this is high knees. In between exercises, you want to take about 10 or 20 seconds. Okay, so after high knees, that's probably about a minute, maybe less. You're going to do something called butt kickers, or butt kicks. And I had to move it down because you need to see my knees going up towards my butt. And if you've seen maybe Mr. Nestrick doing these, or Miss Delisle, you'll notice that when they do it, they can do it running. As all of you know, I've got a little bit of a knee issue, so I've modified it for myself, and this is certainly still loosening up the muscles in the top of the front of your legs, and I'm still doing the butt kickers back and forth. And actually, this is part of a PBA workout I did with my son last week, and I know I'm not showing you the feet enough, but I am getting my legs up there, trying to stretch out this part right here. These are the quads. Stretch out the quads for, maybe close to a minute. I'm not sure where we are. Ideally, I'd have a timer. And maybe I'll take my watch off. And these are really to warm up your body and get you ready for it. It does get your heart moving. It's doing a little bit of a sweat on my brow because there's a constant movement. And that's probably about a minute right there. Now the third ones, they're harder. Now we're getting into the real kind of a workout. and they're called plank jumping jacks or plank jacks, some people call them. And I gotta really face it on the floor, and I'll try to focus it on my feet. And that's where I get in the plank position. And I just keep going out and in with my feet for close to a minute. I wouldn't recommend doing it in socks. Hurts the toes a bit, but you go on that one for about a minute. Keep going, that's about 15 seconds right there. Keep going, you get plank jacks so your arms are staying down, and you can also stay, instead of getting with your elbows on the floor, if it's easier for you, you put your hands on the floor straight and just jump together and out like you would with your feet for jumping jacks, apart together, taking your time, but it's a constant movement. The next one I'm going to show you in a minute, you just got about 10 more seconds to go. It's going to be something called a squat jump, and after you're done, take a 10 or 15 second break. 3, 2, 1, and break. We're going to have some squat jumps. Again, I don't have a high ceiling here. I can touch the ceiling. If you have a high ceiling and you're tall like me, that'd be great. If not, many of you will not be as tall as me, so you'll be able to really reach for the ground. These are called squat jumps, and you're going to, if you've been in any kind of class that has exercises in it, you usually know what a squat is. And you go down to your knees are about bent like that, about like the letter L, right angle if you're in math. And you squat down. You can also keep your arms down and squat and leap with your hands up. Again, I can't raise my hands straight up, because if I do, as you can see, I'm touching the ceiling. So it's down, 1. And you just keep going for about a minute. Got about 50 seconds left. You can go a little faster if you want to get your heart really going. This is getting difficult for you, slow down. I like to pick it up towards the end. I'm about halfway done. Fifteen more seconds. Oh, I hit the ceiling. And 5 more seconds. Couple more to go. And done. That really gets my heart going. Oh. The next ones I call up, down, plank. And really all you're doing is going from an up position plank, bending one elbow then the other, and then back up. In between, I like to hold it for about 2 or 3 seconds. And again, I'm going to have to focus it on the floor, because I will be on the floor. So we got about a minute. And I'm up, down, up, 1, 2, 3, down, up, 1, 2, 3, down, up. And you keep going like that. You got about 30 seconds left. Next time I got to remind me to wear my sneaks. We got about half a minute left. Down, down, up, up, down, down, up, up. Got about 15 seconds. Keep going, working hard. This is a tough one. This one, those last 2 are the toughest ones of the group. We only have 6 today. Down, down, up, up. 3, 2, 1, rest. The last one is it's a good one. It's a bit of a cool down, whereas you're not going to be working as hard as the last 2, but you are going to cross the midline. Gets the brain fired up, good for thinking. This is a good one for in between classes. And in between classes, you guys should be really moving around a bit, get that blood pumping again. You've been sitting for 30, 40 minutes. You're really going to need to get up and get moving. Just like you'd be switching classes. Get up, go get a drink, but I'm saying get up, get your body moving. So in this last one, just crossing the middle, knees to the elbows. We started at 15, and you don't do a number of these again. You're just doing a minute. Trying to get both things to go across the middle if I can, or meet at the middle. Standing tall. Here we go. If you want, in the beginning, you can go quicker, and then slow down as we go. We're about halfway done. When I get to the last few, because it's the last exercise, you can either use it as a cool down and go slower, or work hard to the end and speed up in the last few. We got 15 seconds left, so I'm going to speed up a bit. And done. And that is our 7 or 8 minute workout. Here it is. 7-minute workout. It is on the Eagle Hill website. I'll put it on if it's not there already. I should put it on before I send this out. 7-minute workout. It's got some pictures. And good luck. Thank you for stopping in at Juggling video number 2. And hope to see you guys soon. Bye.